Start streaming. All right. There we are. Okay, so I've got homework to do. Sorry. I got a bunch of things to do. Let's see. I've got to grab, where did it go? I said yes. Really? Okay, hold on a second. Download, should be in downloads. AirDrop. Downloads. All right, maybe I closed my laptop too soon. Hold on. I got new diagrams for the next two scales, because the next two scales are the Phrygian and the Lydian. So we're gonna work on those today. What you'll learn is one thing I hope you're going to come away with this is just kind of hammering home the whole concept that the modes are the same notes. The relative modes are the exact same notes. There they are. Okay, now I see. Okay, so I don't need to open this. Just go away. All right. So let's see. One is the Lydian. See Lydian. No, don't do that. See Lydian. Hey, look, it's an episode of CSI. Phrygian. I'm Googling now. Did Bob kill Steve? Let's see, YouTube. Let's see, probably somewhere Bob killed Steve. Okay, so now I'll start with the diagrams so you can kind of be looking at those. All right. Good morning, Charlie B, Peroni, Sillers, Bob Schumann, Bruce. All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna add. Let's see, add an image. This is the most cumbersome software, I swear. It's the kind of thing I should have done before. I was going to be here in plenty of time, but Starbucks was very busy. Like, why is Starbucks busy all of a sudden? All right, so we're going to start with the B Phrygian because we're going up alphabetically. Okay, so here's, oh, not that. This. There we go. Okay, 7th fret. B Phrygian. I wish you could put a shadow on that, right? Probably a way to do that. I don't know. All right, let me add in the other one, and you'll see they're the same. The only difference is the blue notes will move. Right there, the blue notes are on Bs, and here, the blue notes are going to be on Cs. Something like that. Okay, you see that? The exact same scale, same position. The only difference is the roots of the B Phrygian are down here at the 7th fret and at the 9th fret, and the roots of the C Lydian are at the 8th and 10th fret. Okay, now let me create a text, and then I'll write out the notes in there, and you'll again see text free text. Okay. So we have B Phrygian, which is B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. And then we have C Lydian, which is Lydian is one of the best, is the funnest, fun mode to play in. And that is C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. Oops, C. Okay. Sorry, this is so lame that I'm doing all this now and not before. I meant to do it before. It just took forever at Starbucks. All right. And I was up late. I'm like, I didn't want to wake up. I didn't set my alarm. I got up anyway, so I was like, okay, if I sleep till noon, I'll have to explain myself later. But I was having issues with the computer was crashing every time I hit record, which is kind of all I need it to do. He was like, really? You have one job, computer. I was working on another game, a new composer, which is awesome. Yay! You know, love working with new composers. And he works a lot with. Why am I not getting? Oh, because I don't have the volume on. There we go. It was the stuff I'm doing for this game is some of the fastest stuff I've ever had to play. And it's the second game in a row I had to do like speed metal. And I'm like, okay, is this going to be a thing? I used to have like a Jackson. Somebody gave me this Jackson guitar, which was perfect for speed metal. And we were talking about it last night, and Alex was saying that probably what I need to get is something with, was EMG pickups. Get like it could be a Jackson, it could be an ESP, something, but just something with EMG pickups are good for, speed metal, death metal. It was really, really fast stuff. Fun, but man, flying by the seat of pants. And so I was working on one of the tracks for this game last night, and I got about 50% through all the files that I needed to, he's got like demo, like synth guitar playing what he wants me to play. So I'm knocking those out. There's like 5 bars of bass, and there's 4 bars of surf guitar, and then there's 8 bars of metal guitar, and there's 1 bar of metal, that kind of thing. And I'm just kind of chipping away at it, and I get to like the solo section, which has the melody and the theme and everything. I did one of those. I go to the second one, and I hit record, and I play it, and perfect. Hit stop, and everything disappears. I was like, what? So you open it up again, you think, okay, well, that's just an aberration. It's just a one-time thing. So I did it again, same thing, got the same punch, but boom, it did it again. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. And I think, okay, more volume. From me, I'm already getting close to the red, but I can give you a little bit more volume there. But I know if I hit a low, that's going to get distorted. So I basically, did a bunch of different things, like created a new track, tried recording on that track, it crashed again. I muted all the tracks I wasn't using or didn't need to hear. I even powered off, and then tried and did it again. And I was like, oh. So I shut off the computer and I thought, well, maybe it's getting hot. So I shut off the computer, let it sit for like 30 minutes, watched some Netflix, and then came back, and it did it again. And it's like, ugh. Now it's like 1 o'clock. And I was wanting to be done around 11. And so what I ended up doing was I just took the MIDI file that I use. Basically what I do when I'm creating these things, I have them send me MIDI, which may only have, tempo on it, but at least that I have that. But it had some MIDI files like the guitar parts and everything, and then I drop in the audio files. But I right click on the MIDI, I select Logic Pro, and then I go from there. It opens with Logic and everything, and I start building everything from there. Well, so I just decided, okay, I'm going to start from scratch. One thing I did do, though, is I went back, I merged all the files that I needed to bounce and bounced them, and they all bounced fine without crashing, so that was good. So half of the work I did, or all of the work I had done to that point was good. I was able to save it. So so that was good. But man, I went to bed last night, and of course I went to bed around 1:30. And laying there going, I got to get up in a couple hours. I hate that. And it was the same thing the night before. So I've had, I think, 3 nights in a row now where I haven't gotten hardly any sleep. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, enough about me. What do you think about me? It's one of my favorite Bette Midler bits. I forget what movie that's from. Is it Ruthless People or no? I forget. Anyway, enough about me. What do you think about me? Let's see. King Beer, good to see you. AJ's here. Brony, hopefully I got you a little more volume there. I just ooched it up a little bit. Ignatius, good to see you. Okay, so you see these diagrams, they're the same. The only thing is the blue notes moved. It's like a magic trick. And the name changed. B Phrygian, which is the 3rd mode in the key of G, and C Lydian, which is the 4th mode in the key of G. In other words, if we go up the G scale, G, A, B, C, you can see B is the 3rd note and C is the 4th note. Okay? And really, ultimately, and I didn't write in, because I did it this morning. So I was really crammed for time. So I didn't write in the chord. Maybe we'll spend a couple days on this, but I didn't write in the shape that this is around. It's the C shape, okay? So if you play your C shape like this, and then slide it up to the 8th fret, essentially that's the shape you can see. If you look closely, if you look at the B Phrygian, the 2nd blue note in the middle, that's the 3rd of the B, of the G chord. Okay, so this is a G chord. It looks like C, but it's G when you move it up here. And if you want to play it in a bar form version, then you grab C with these 3 fingers, okay, and then free up your index finger. This harkens back to lesson number 1. And we just slide up, and there's our G shape. So this. If you want to continue down to G, it wants to go there, doesn't it? But I always want you to realize that we're not doing this. These are not modal lessons. We're basically just finding all the scale tones in the key of G here, and in the next position, and in the next position. And so by moving up here, by doing that, we've created 2 real obvious modes, okay? And that's the Phrygian sound. Just play that by itself. And you can hear very minor tonality. Very minor sounding, very almost Middle Eastern sounding, a little like exotic. It's cool because it's a minor scale, but it starts with a half step. So you get right away you get this single fret thing. Okay, so if you put your first finger, and this is great scale because we don't have any position shifts. Okay, so our first finger is going to be assigned every note on the 7th fret, and our second finger is going to be assigned every note on the 8th fret, and our third finger is going to be assigned every note on the 9th fret. I'm just doing this to annoy you. And the pinky is going to be assigned every note on the 10th fret. Okay, there's an exercise there for you. I know you're friends with that one. Okay, you can tell I'm tired, right? Like, I'm finding humor in everything. I'm half slappy. Okay, so, and I got the COVID cough. But that Phrygian has a really, really cool sound. If you wanted to kind of create a very Phrygian chord progression, I've done this with my jam tracks. If you look at my jam tracks, I have these modal jam tracks, and the thing is, the way Joe Satriani did it on one of these plastic records that came inside I think Guitar Player or Guitar World or something like that. He basically, what you did, we're in the key of G, okay? The 4 chord in the key of G is C, and the 5 chord is D. So there's there's a C, and there's a D, and I'm playing the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So you can do that. You can do it like this if you want. Okay. And then if we want it to have a B, like a real strong B Phrygian sound, then what you do is you do that, because that'll center you with the major tonality. Okay, so that's very, right? That centers it, makes it sound very G major, but it's not. What we want to do is we want to put a B in the bass. See, that's where it gets weird. You could even do, if you wanted, if you can't make this chord and this chord, you could capo at the 2nd fret and play the open A string, which is now a B. And I have a jam track with that. Let me find it. I can see, and it's funny because I get people arguing with me all the time. The Locrian ones, they really hate, you know. Let's see, B. If I just put Phrygian, I should find it. Phrygian. All right, show all. Oh yeah. Oh, I do not have B Phrygian. Why do I not? G Phrygian. F Phrygian. Huh. Well, that's weird. Well, I'll have to put one up there. It's weird because the F Phrygian track has 4,200 views. That's crazy. But sometimes people like, and I did make a mistake one time. I put the bass too low. And so, like, when I was making these things, I was moving the MIDI data around, and so when I went from, like, I don't know, G to F instead of going, or F to G instead of going up a whole step, I maybe went down a minor 7th, and then what happened was that made the bass really low. So if you're listening to, like, a laptop or something, you probably can't even hear the bass. So it just sounds like I'm playing C and let's see, let me see if I can understand your question. If you want to improvise lead line over a chord progression in a mode, you just adjust the modal progression to diatonic chords you're improvising over. Well, you can't change the progression. The chord progression is the chord progression, whatever it is. So you got to figure out a way to solo over it. But you could play B Phrygian in the key of G. Because that's my point. I'm almost muddying the waters here by even using the terms Phrygian, Lydian, and modes, because really these scales are just all the notes right here in the 7th position in the key of G. Okay, so let me show you. I'm gonna jam a little bit on this, and then someone's trying to call me. I can hear my phone, but I don't see it. Well, they'll have to wait. So for the jam track, yeah, you can. So if you got a chord progression, well, I'll show you, because we're going to do that right now. It doesn't really matter what mode you play in. So here's E minor, then to C. It's our chord progression we're doing. This is a kind of a G chord progression. I mean, it starts on an E minor chord, so you could say it's E minor chord progression, but that's the same as the key of G. Okay. And then we did A Dorian, but I'm not thinking A Dorian. That's just the name of the scale if you played from A to A in G. Same thing with this. If you play from B to B and using G notes, the key notes in the key of G. it doesn't particularly sound very Phrygian because what you're playing over isn't very Phrygian. I can just play the Phrygian scale up and down. It doesn't sound Phrygian. It just sounds like a segment of the G scale, which is exactly what I want you to understand. Don't worry about the Phrygian Lydian thing at this point. If you want to learn about the modes, I would go back to the mode lessons I taught. Okay? You can find, oh shoot, buffering? Well, weird. So, yeah, they're all the same. They're the exact same notes. Well, B Phrygian is the exact same thing as G major. Ah, I see. It is buffering. Sorry. So the hey, be kidding. So the but if I were to play a very modal chord progression like that, then that segment of the G scale would sound very Phrygian. Okay, it's not what you're. It's less what you're playing and more what you're playing over, I think. So you know, we're more often going to be playing over. I guarantee you're going to play over that progression many times in your life, but you're never going to play over this one. It's just not going to happen, you know. But to kind of mess around and hear that modal kind of that Phrygian thing, yeah, then you would hear it if you play it by itself, sans a chord progression. So if I were just to play the scale, then I'm definitely going to hear a minor scale, or in this case a Phrygian scale, which is one of the minor modes. Okay, so let's go ahead and just practice it. But yeah, when I'm playing Peroni, what I'm visualizing is usually the caged shape. So if I'm playing in G and I move up like here, I'll do a little bit of that. Let me go over the gainy tone here. I'm out of tune. But what I was doing there is when I'm playing here, I'm seeing this G shape. When I'm playing here, I'm seeing this G shape. When I'm playing here, seeing this G shape. This is the E form, and this is the D form, and this is the C form. So I'm seeing those shapes, and they're kind of helping me, kind of being little clues as to what scale I'm going to use. Now, where is my tuner? It's not like I don't have 1,000 tuners. Okay. Now, let's see. And there is such a thing as a stupid question, but I'm the only one that can ask them. It's not even feasible and possible that you guys can ask this stupid question. I can, however. And I have to make sure I have enough energy to finish this session. I started yesterday. I want to finish this morning, or by noon if I can. So, yeah. So again, if I am playing in this, here, now I'm in the new scales that we're learning today. Okay, so let's let's work on that. Hold on, let me go back here and get a normal. Yeah. What's this sound like? Oh, I don't have my compressor. Yeah, what the heck, we'll do a Pat Metheny-ish sound. Okay, let me go. Windows organized. Okay, so the upper, your upper left-hand corner, I believe. Put our first finger on the 7th fret of the bottom string, and there's our B, and then here's our C, 1 fret up, and then go to the 10th fret with a pinky. Okay, and so that's 1, 2, 4 fingering wise. Fret wise, it's 7, 8, 10, and then we're going to go 7, 9, 10 on the next one. So that's going to be E, F sharp. John, regarding a tone, if there's a Phrygian mode, gives a hint of a minor tonality, when would you use that versus the Aeolian natural mode? Well, you would have to move it and change key. You couldn't play, like, for example, I couldn't play E minor and E Phrygian in the key of G. I would play E minor and I would play B Phrygian. So you just have to know which mode. But again, exactly. Yeah, it's the parent scale. So you couldn't use E Phrygian and E Phrygian and E minor or E Aeolian or Aeolian and minor are the same thing. E minor, they're not the same. They have one note difference. And so you would probably you would have to play B. What we're learning right now is B Phrygian. And modal playing is more of almost a jazz thing. Modal playing a lot of times is modal jazz was almost always it's just a fancy name for, hey, let's jam over one chord. Basically is what was happening. And in that scenario, if you're just playing over an E minor chord, then you could use E minor and E Phrygian both. You could also use E Dorian if it's just a pure minor, and that's all that's happening, because if I play E minor, I could be in 3 different keys. I could be in the key of G, I could be in the key of C, and I could be in the key of D. So you don't know what key you're in if you're just playing over one chord. Does that make sense? That's the only difference. Yep. And the difference between a minor and a Dorian is the Dorian has a raised 6th. Okay? That's the only difference between a minor and a Dorian. They're very closely related. Now, the Phrygian and the Dorian are further apart because there's 2 note different. Okay. So we have fretwise 7, 8, 10, 7, 9, 10, and then 7, 9. And that gets us our full octave of the B Phrygian. So you can kind of practice that if you want. It definitely has a cool tonality to it. And like I said, it works technically. Okay, it has a nice, but it really, this is not a progression that is begging to be played in Phrygian mode over. But this is technically a Phrygian mode that would work over. But really what you're playing is you're playing a segment of, it won't sound like a Phrygian scale over that progression. It'll sound like you're playing G scale. Because you're playing a G scale starting on B. That's what B Phrygian is. Okay, so let's continue. Basically, we're going to do this twice, but we only have to do it once because it's the exact same scale. So here's B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and then we have 7, 9, and then 10 again, and then 7, 9. And I don't know if you remember a couple days or on Friday we did the Dorian. We had this. We had 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, and it was very symmetrical. Remember, this one is going to be 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. So we do finish off symmetrically, and I forgot to make those notes white. I don't think it really matters. I think that just made it more confusing. Hey, John. I mean, I could play a G major scale and make it sound Phrygian. If I played a G major scale over that, it's going to sound Phrygian. You can't, if I played A Dorian, if I played D Mixolydian, they're all going to sound Phrygian because the chord progression is defining that. But with this song, you know, this very, very basic common pop progression. Really, all I want you to do is learn the scale because this is G. This is just more G scale. Like I said, I'm regretting even bringing in the modes into the whole thing. Okay? But it's a bonus. Like I told you before, there won't be a quiz on this, okay? There won't be a quiz on the mode aspect of this. I might give you a quiz on the scales because I would love for you to be able to find all the G scale, all the notes in the key of G, all up and down your neck. And this is what we're doing. We're chipping away 4 frets at a time, basically. Okay, we did here, and then we did here, and then we're doing here now. And next we're going to do here, and then next we're going to do here. And then here again. Because we still have 3 more modes to go after this. 3 more positions. Actually, only 2 more positions, because what we're doing here with the Lydian and the Phrygian and and again, see we're going to C chord. The G chord is that's the shape that I'm visualizing. And here's the G. That's the other thing you could do. One of the great things about learning your cage method is to learn chords up and down your neck. So you can play multiple G chords and D chords. Here's a D chord. Looks like a G chord. Okay. Here's the E minor. Looks like an A minor. Sure. Here's the E form C chord, which is the 4 chord in the song. The 1 chord. There's a G. There's our A. And if I just play I'll play the B Phrygian. Sounds like a segment of the G scale, which is exactly what it is. It just has a name, and I'm confusing you with it. So that's on me. And you can get the occasional blues note in there. Kind of like David T. Williams. Right? This scale feels real good in the hands. It's almost like playing the major scale, but in this key, it's nice because it's a little further up the neck. The frets, it's almost the exact width of my fingers, so it just fits my hand really well. So this one's a good one to practice. Oh, let me do this now. I'll go ahead. I'll shut off the music, the annoying music. Oh, I have to give you the. Let's see. If I go, let's see, clear this. Yeah. Dashboard. Videos. My most. Oh, stop. Oh, I see. I do it there. Okay. My most recent video was this one, and it's got 460 views. So that groove that I was playing over, shareable link, okay, copied, is right here, okay? So I made it, I did a loop like over 10 minutes long so you can just jam over it. There won't be any ads in it. Oh, shoot. Gosh, that's another thing I have to do. The stupid YouTube. Oh, live stream. Oh, no, okay, don't need that. So I guarantee if I go to this Friday's lesson and I click on monetization, it's going to have 4,000, oh gosh, ads. I'm so sorry if you watched Friday's lesson and got all those ads. They stop at an hour, just so you know, but it's like, they just, I don't put those in there. They do that. So I put them in, I'm putting them in right now. I'm putting them in every 30 minutes. Okay, that's fair, right? You can hear me yak and yak for 30 minutes before you have to listen to someone else yak. Okay, so that's done. Okay, I'm getting my little homework assignments done while you watch CSI. I need to have the theme of CFI. I can't because then. Okay, so I'm going to upload those to Tom's Bookmarks. I'm going to upload those scales. Okay, to the Discord site, so you can grab those JPEGs and like that. Choose, and then you can create your own doc at home or whatever and print it up if you want to have it. Okay, then I'm going to also get you guys the invite for the Discord. So again, all the homework, anything, any paperwork I create here in this lesson or for this lesson, I will scan. In the case of it being something I write on paper or something, I'll scan and post it at Discord. And I think that link should not expire. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but you should be able to click on that link and you have an invite to this group. And pretty much everyone who's on the live chat over here is part of that group. So if there's someone there that you want to reconnect with, we had beautiful, Richard Lawson, we had beautiful fog this morning. I even told Beth, hey, we're in London. We're in England. Yay. I want to go back so bad. We've been watching, it's pretty brutal, but we've been watching, what's it called? Outlander. I need to do a fundraiser I need to get a hurdy-gurdy. Outlander, we've been watching that, and it's like, I've been wanting to go to Scotland, and now I really want to go to Scotland because of that. It looks so gorgeous. So, let's see. John is saying, it seems that the caged chord form for given Phrygian let's see. John, you're saying, it seems that the caged chord form of a given Phrygian scale at any position of the fretboard is two caged chord forms behind the caged chord form of the parent scale. That is way too confusing, especially on no sleep. But basically, actually, it's and again, you could have I can have a Phrygian scale here in the first position. I could have a B Phrygian scale here. Okay, just to kind of give you a quick reminder here. So this is the G major scale. Okay, if I start on the second note, that's A Dorian. If I start on the third scale, that's B Phrygian. If I start on the C. So anywhere I have C or G scale, I can play all the modes, all 7 modes in the key of G. Okay, so it doesn't really, it's not position, it's not caged based necessarily, but this one is. This is a specific scale that falls specifically here. The only time that all those notes line up in the B in the key of G, or in this case B Phrygian or C Lydian, is when it's here. If I move it up a fret, none of these notes are in the key of G. Well, a couple are. Yeah, I know. California is always in a drought, perpetually in a drought. They act like it's a new thing, and it's like just make desalination plants. I know they built one in Santa Barbara, and then they stopped building it because they had protests and everything. And then when they ran out of water and Oprah couldn't water her grass in Montecito, they decided they better finish this desalination plant. I think in Israel gets like 75% of the water from the Mediterranean desalination plants. So, nothing to be. It's a great way to get water. There's water everywhere, and nary a drop to drink, right? Okay. So again, let's look at this scale. We'll play it again together. I'm going to try to go slow for you. I don't know how fast slow is. If you were sitting here with me, I would. Okay, we're going to go 7th fret on the bottom string. 7, 8, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. Okay. Now, you remember when I showed you that unusual chord progression? The C over B to the D over B, which is also B minor 7, but for the sake of argument, let's call it C to D over B. C over B to D over B. Okay, that's a very, very Phrygian sounding chord progression. So that would be a context where I still could play just a G scale over that. It would totally work. But the funny thing is that scale will sound very Phrygian. Even though you're playing G major, it'll sound like B Phrygian because of the chord progression. Because of the chord progression, So now, if we wanted to create a Lydian chord progression, what we do is we take the 4 and 5 again of the relative major. So we're still in the key of G. So C and D, 4 and 5, and then we put it over C. Well, that sounds very inside. Oh, listen to that beautiful thing. Here, let me show you. Okay, I'm gonna grab. Now here, what I'll do is this. Right? See, that's a movie score. Okay? So I'm just creating quick MIDI here so I have something to jam over that's very... Yeah, except I gotta quantize it. Cancel. That's not what I want. Quantize to the 8th note, not the 16th note. Thank you. Now let's put some bass. All I gotta do is hit C. I'll go up high so you can hear it. Hear that? That's where the Lydian. See, here it's just a C major chord. But here's D over C. And that really, with that F sharp, implies that Lydian. Okay. Okay, I don't want that to be merged. Yeah. Sorry, now I got to clean up my mess here. It won't let me. Okay, good. And then here, 6. All right. So now I just go like this. See, and again, I'm making this all about the modes, and I didn't want to do that. But here's the scale. Listen how Lydian this sounds. You got to really get that F sharp. It's all G major. see how the chord progression really shapes what it sounds like you're playing. Okay, if I play G major, sweet. No, this is exactly what Francoballi did. I stole this from Francoballi. Yeah, he totally did that. He just took the 4 and the 5 back and forth in key, and so you can create this. See, watch this. I can make this. Oh, I have to change both the piano and the bass. But check this out. If I take this, these C notes down to B, okay. Now that's Phrygian. So that's a C chord and a D chord on top of a B note. If I put it over, if I play it over an A, that's going to sound very Dorian, the scale we did on Friday. But I'm just playing in the key of G. It's just because the chord progression is that. Now if I take that down to G, now it just sounds like, now it definitely sounds like G. The key to playing fast is just to look bored. Yeah, that's true. It's 100% true. If you think about it, you'll screw up. But if you just think, whatever. You just got. I notice that because I'll see these 12-year-olds playing bluegrass and they're shredding like twice as fast as I can play, and they're like, "Yeah, what am I gonna have for lunch?" I hate them so much. All right, so I'm okay. We're finally getting some people here. We had 40 people on Friday. We've had like 20 people here this whole time. Yeah, fast is relax, exactly. Okay, so, but if I take that back down to C, then that's the Lydian thing. Now, if I go up to D in the bass, the only thing I'm changing is the bass note. This is going to have a very D Mixolydian sound. So I'll save this to refer to it, on these lessons too. I thought I did all the modes in G. That's so weird that the modes in G are not up there. So I may have to do those for the sake of practicing, people practicing their modes. Okay. So now let's play this scale again. I don't know that I got all the way through it. I apologize. I got sidetracked. I'm watching questions. You know, I watched Rick Beato, who's got 1 billion subscribers. I watched Rick Beato do a live stream, and there's no way he can see those. People are asking him questions, and they're just flying. It's like I've got 30 people on, and it's very, very, very modest pace there in the chat, in the live chat. Okay, now you guys can oh yeah. See, the scale sounds very Lydian if I play the C with it all the time. Okay, so let's start on the C. So before we start on this exact same scale, so we're just skipping this 7 here. But other than that, everything's the same. So we're going to go 8, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 8, 10, and 7, 8. And then we have another note here if we want it. But there's the root. There's a C. Oh yeah, Rick definitely has an assistant. He has, and he does have administrators, and they're probably sitting on the computer, but not necessarily. He does live streams. I guarantee, the times of days he does it, I'm sure he doesn't have someone sitting in the room with him. So, but And then when he does his live, he goes live on Instagram. Those questions are flying really fast. But he's probably got a side thing where he can see all the questions. I don't know. I mean, I keep tabs on all your questions. I'm not looking at the. I'm seeing them in YouTube Studio here, so I can see all your questions. And then, but I'm actually looking visually at my OBS software. So that way I can kind of keep tabs on if I want to make changes, and also I can keep tabs on the volume. So, dang. Yeah, no, that note in this room is always going to be loud, that C note. So I won't do that again. Yeah, I know, Bruce. What you're shirking your responsibility. You should be hawking my my coffee mugs and T-shirts. There won't be a quiz on this. This is not the mug you want to sit across from your wife and have a deep conversation on it, because she'll say later, you'll be like, "Don't you remember what we talked about?" She said, "You said there wasn't going to be a quiz on this." So, cheers. But the whole Phrygian Lydian aspect of this is less of what I want you to learn and more just the shape here. All these notes are in the key of G. So if we were to play the G scale, check this out. Start on the pinky right here. Pinky, 10th fret, 5th string. All right? 10. The next, go down to the 4th string and go 1, or sorry, first finger, yeah. But 7, 9, 10. Okay, go back to the first one. You hear the major scale developing there? Yeah, but Jeff, if I had a million subscribers, actually he has 1.5 million now. If I had 1.5 million subscribers and I did this, I guarantee I wouldn't even know your name. It would be flying by so fast. But true, you do have access to me 3 times a week. It's pretty amazing. You get to actually talk to me, a legend in my spare time. Okay, so you can hear that, and then you continue, go 7, 9. And there's finish it off with 7, 8. And I mean, that feels pretty good on there, but it's weird because I got one note here, then 3, then 2, then 2. And so that's all. That's the only G to G we have in this position. Okay? Everything else beyond those notes is extra in the key of G. And what I could have done is I've done a diagram like that where you just see the G scale and I make all the other notes white because they're extra notes. But all of these notes are in the key of G. That's the point. Well, my biggest thing, Richard, is staying on point or getting to the point. I get comments every now and then. They'll be like, "Dude, just stop talking." I'm like, "It's a live stream. What am I supposed to do? Just solo the whole time?" I could do that, but that would be Twitch. So, and I'm thinking about doing Twitch. I don't know. I've got several friends that are doing it and kind of are talking about it. So I may migrate the whole live stream thing over to Twitch at some point. My YouTube revenues are actually down, but I think largely because my #1 video is no longer they're not promoting as much because it's getting older. It's most everybody that needs to see it has pretty much seen it. I mean, I don't know. That's not necessarily true. There are a lot of beginners in this world, but what's the view count on that? I can sort my videos by highest view count. Most views. almost 2.5 million views for 7 tips for older beginners. Then the next most popular one is 5 songs with only 2 chords. So I did a follow-up to the 5 songs with only 2 chords. 5 songs with only 2 chords has over 500,000 views. Let's see. Let's see how much I've made on it. Oh wait, no, I need to go to analytics to see that. Revenue. So in the last 28 days, I've made 20 bucks from it. So that's cool. I'm totally fine with that because that means it's working for me. Every month I'm making about 20 bucks from a video I did, what, 2 years ago? That's called royalties. I love that kind of stuff. I can see lifetime money, and it says 1,700 bucks. So it's definitely had spikes. The thing is, it came out in May 23rd, I think, and in October of that year, it spiked, and you know, it suddenly got popular. Somebody promoted it. I don't know where that happened. I wish I knew. And then again in August or September of last year, it spiked. Since then, it's just been 50 cents a day kind of stuff, $1 a day. That, you know, not a lot. So, but it adds up. But you know, $1,700, and I probably shouldn't tell you that, but I don't know. You don't care. But that makes it worth the time I spent on it, right? And those actual videos take some time because I had to do research, find the songs, and then I'm not playing the songs per se. I'm kind of showing you the chord progression, but I'm not saying, you know. And so I'm trying to stay out of that. Those are the few ones that I did where I actually named specific songs. So I did a follow-up to that. So that one has over 500,000 views. The follow-up I did to that one, I don't even think has 20,000 views. No, it doesn't, because I don't even see it here on this page. The lowest one on the top 30 is almost 19,000 views, and it's not on the top 30. So that's crazy. My third, play most any song in Dadgad. That's a close third with 444,000. Some fun chords in open G and some fun chords in open D. And then play most any song in open D. Those are all open tuning ones. And that tells me I should do more open tuning videos, right? Because they've gotten, you know, 444,000 views, 357,000 views, 265,000 views, and 225,000. I mean, I'm very happy that these are getting all these views. It's why I do it. And largely I get comments, not too unlike what you're saying. You know, my goal on these, you know, when I make these videos is to be the guy that you're just basically, I try to make it as much about you and me sitting together and me teaching you something. So yeah, and if I migrated to Twitch, I could start all over again. I've already got the lesson plan, right? I've got 125 lessons I've done. I wouldn't even watch any of those. I just go, okay, let's talk about the cadence method. Here's the first shape, you know. I probably have all the diagrams I need drawn up too. But the open tuning one videos tend to do very well. Now, like I said, Richard and I think it was who else? Hey, Darren, how's it going? Jeff. Yeah, I try to make it just a very casual thing. I really don't like videos. Paul David's videos are beautiful, but it's too much editing, right? He's like close, far, and it's one thing to go here and then another thing to go close to the guitar. That I'm fine with. But when it goes close here and he's making an important point, it goes close on his face, you know, or a side view and he's talking to the camera and you see him on the side. I mean, to me, that just, if I was getting, you know, 10 million views per video, then I would have a guy that would edit, you know, I would have multi-cameras and I have a guy edit. But that's not why I would have that many views. If I had that many views, it would be because my videos are simple. So that's kind of what I like to do. This is the only channel I would set my alarm to 3 a.m. for. Well, what time is it? I forget where you are. And he has me muted. He's not even know what I'm saying right now. He's just here for the chat with you guys. That's the truth. I'm gonna buy a couple of your tote bags. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know if we're in the money. I don't know. Have I gotten money for those yet? I don't even know. Let me look up Teespring. I'll log into my account and see. Here's my account. Home, analytics, listings, payouts. Hey, look there. Maybe I haven't. Payout history. Oh, your current. Oh, okay. I have $33.79 current. Okay, I haven't done a payout. That's fine. I'll wait. I actually usually set payouts to be at $100. But that's cool. It's funny. I just thought. But so I've sold 5 things. Oh no. Well, technically, I sold one to myself and got 0. Somebody bought a shirt. I made $12.82. The mugs I make, I think $6.99. So on those. So yeah, I probably should buy a shirt and wear it. I probably did. I do black on white. I should probably do a shirt that's. I thought you could design your own, right? Stores, storefront. No, okay. Payouts, listing. Oh, listings. Here we go. Is it? Do you get to? Yeah, there won't be a quiz on this. Let's see what happens if I click on that. Yeah, tote bag. Oh yeah, so I guess I have to. I should design a white on black. Yeah, because nobody wears white T-shirts anymore. You're right. You know what? I should. Okay, so I need to start designing. Here we go. I'm making you guys. No, I'm not going to do this now. But okay, this is good to know. I should be able to do white on black, and I will try to do that because nobody, like I said, I very rarely wear a white T-shirt because I'm drinking coffee. I'm so paranoid when I go to church in the morning, on Sunday morning. If I'm wearing a light colored shirt or a white shirt, there was a girl that was singing. She's the daughter of a good friend of mine, and she was singing on the worship team. And this was back in the day when we were in the old sanctuary, and we had 5 services every weekend. So we had 2 Saturdays and 3 Sundays. And we were sitting backstage and kind of bored in between like the second service and the third service. We're waiting for this third service to start. And Alicia goes, "I'm bored," right? And I just finished my Starbucks, right? So total empty cup. So I'm probably 10 feet from her or whatever. She goes, "I'm bored." So I just take my Starbucks cup and I throw it at her. I'm like, "Are you bored now?" But the lid comes off. There was still a little bit of coffee in it, and she was wearing a white dress. I was like, "Oh no." No, and the funny thing was, I think it was actually like right after the sound check for the first service. So it was probably really early in the morning or something. And so she had we got it off. She got it off. But it was just like this stupid things that I do. But now every time I see her, I say, "Are you bored?" She goes, No, I'm not bored. Not bored at all. Not bored in one bit. So it means we have a joke now for the rest. Not throw coffee. Yeah, well, it was empty, but I didn't know there was still a little bit in there, and the lid popped off. So it jacked me up. Hey, Rick Forster's in the house. Like I said, I really like this shape. I think about Lukather, like in the, and I used to know it because we used to play it, but I mean, I'm talking about like played it back in 1982. So, but. I can't remember. But then at one point he goes, and the song's in the key of F. That section of the song's in the key of F. And he does this little shreddy thing. Oh, dang it. I'm getting my windows all messed up. Sorry. There we go. He does, like this. He's so... In F, this would be here. So if we're playing, if this scale is... If this is the G notes in the key of... I mean, these are notes in the key of G. then F would be a whole step down. And I take that up an octave, but this little bit here, it just, once you get it under your hands, you can get pretty shreddy with it. And that's, you know, he kind of starts in that. It's not where he finishes, and he does like a chromatic thing there, but it's just really fun to play now. And so in the key of G, we're right there, and so that little snippet of this scale is just, for me, a lot of fun. I think it's because it's very symmetrical. And then if you want, if you go down instead of into the 8th fret on the 3rd string instead of the 7th, you can get kind of a harmonic minor tone, right? Kind of Spanish or whatever. Another unbelievable Strahle story. No, totally believable. Sounds like something I would do. There's a Lydian, very, very Lydian sound right there. So if you play a C major triad, so 10th fret, 8th fret, 7th and 10th, and then go down to the 9th, that's your F sharp. You do here. Sorry, there's that note that gets all woofy. Makes everything distort. One of the things that Eddie does, Jeff, he did a lot of blues and pentatonic licks, but he would add a chromatic tone, like leading tones to stuff. So like, so we're off this lesson for now for a second. But like, say he was playing an E minor, you know, that doesn't sound very Eddie. But if you go down a fret for each of the first note and go, that sounds more like Eddie, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm playing all these notes, but I'm also adding all of those notes to it. So it requires some, you know, it requires some refingering of things and kind of coming up with clever ways of fingering something. But like he would do the, so he ends up kind of creating this blues thing, right? And then a chromatic thing. And that's how I would have played it, but he didn't play it that way. He would do it like this. Again, part of that is to keep 3 notes per string. So it's easier to shred when you have consistent notes per string. He wasn't like, he didn't do, I don't know Eddie doing sweeping, right? He didn't do sweeping stuff. I wouldn't see him do that. He mostly did like, you know, pentatonic things that he would bastardize. He would just F them up to the point where it was like, what? In fact, I saw him playing the other day, and I used to do this trick. If I wanted to sound like Alan Holdsworth, I would, because I couldn't figure out what the heck Alan Holdsworth was doing. I would do these diminished triads on every string. Okay, so a diminished triad would be like 12, 15, and 18. It just sounds like chaos, right? It's like, what the heck is that? And so I would, well, I noticed Eddie doing something like that because I've been watching a lot of Eddie videos recently. You know, keep in mind they're a Pasadena band. I lived in Pasadena from '83 until last year. And always meeting people who went, oh yeah, I know, yeah, I grew up with him, or yeah, he played my birthday party. I actually saw an interview of them in London back in like '78 when their first record came out, and they toured England. They did 32 shows in 30 days. Insanity in England, and David Lee Roth said, "Yeah, we even played a wedding." I was like, "What?" But there's a YouTube channel. In fact, I just saved this. Running with the Devil, first known live recording. This is on Van Halen Archive. You can subscribe. I've subscribed. Here it is. I'll give you. But this was recorded at the Hilton, a block from our apartment building. We lived a block from this building for 32 years. And so that's, it's the first known live recording of Running with the Devil at the convention building at the Pasadena Convention Center. Or no, this is at the convention center. This is still only like 2 blocks from the apartment. I'm sorry, I thought this was the one. And this is 1976, May 29th, 1976. So I wasn't living there at this time. And then this one, this is Japan. There was one where they also have the recordings, the 3 recordings that they did with on this YouTube channel. 3 recordings they did with Gene Simmons, who I met. You heard my Gene Simmons story, right? I did a TV show with Gene Simmons. We had a good time. Yeah, so Eddie, I think, largely did pentatonics and blues, but like I said, he was... All right. You know, that kind of stuff where he's just doing... I like to do these, you know, like that's not a scale, that's just a bunch of notes. It's kind of a combination of G Dorian and E Dorian and E blues combined. All just kind of added up. That's very E Dorian. That's very E Dorian. That's very E Dorian with a blues note. That's very E Dorian with a blues note. E Dorian. And that's something I came up with, trying to sound like Eddie. I mean, the two-handed stuff I never ever got into. It was kind of when Van Halen hit, was right in the time I was in high school, and I was kind of a jazz snob in high school. So I was really into like George Benson, Pat Metheny, Wes Montgomery, Charlie Parker, Coltrane, Miles Davis. People like Dexter Gordon. I was really into jazz. So, pre-smooth jazz. See, smooth jazz didn't exist. 76 was the killer year for jazz. 76 killed jazz. And that was kind of right around the time I was in high school, but it didn't kill it right away. It was a slow death. And I blame, one of my favorite guitar players, George Benson, for having a hit with This Masquerade. If he'd never had that hit, jazz would have continued to develop. But the problem was he made money, and jazzers were like, wait, you can make money doing this? And so they all retooled their careers and started writing schlocky, cheesy, smooth jazz crap. And that pretty much killed it. I didn't have Kiss makeup on, but it is a makeup story. I could tell you that story. Oh, hey, Pierre. What's going on? You're new? Merci. Bonjour. Bonjour, mon ami. My wife, ma femme, it's the only thing I know how to say. Où est ma femme? Where's my wife? In French, because she can speak French. So when we're in France, all I need to go is, où est ma femme? What is he saying? It's like when Pee-wee and Michiko are in Japan, and Pee-wee, only word he needs to know in Japanese is Michiko, because that's how he talks. Michiko. Like they're at a restaurant. Michiko, you know what I like. What do I want? That's what Pee-wee would say. And Michiko would order him food, anytime they're in Japan. So they go to Japan quite a bit, because Judith would do, their daughter would do shows at the Blue Note. And they toured with Sly and the Family Stone in Japan. They toured with Rufus in Japan. I think they may have played. I know that they were good friends with Billy Preston. They may have done some stuff with Billy Preston back in the day. So, but that's the keyboard player and bass player at my church. In fact, I could post a video. They took down the one that actually had all the views. I don't know why. But this is actually the band, my church band. We're playing at the Baked Potato. Let's see. What would Pee Wee? No. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I had a solo here, but so I'll share this with you guys. You'll get a kick out of this. So this is Walter Rodriguez on drums, Michiko on keyboards. So we did a bunch of rehearsals in one show, basically. And that's the tune that I actually had a kind of cool solo on. That one's taken down for some reason. I'm not sure why that one got taken down, but I'm kind of bummed. I'm not sure if I have a solo on that song or not. I'd have to watch it. Starts out with like a classical piece, and then let's see. Hey, Holly's in the house. Strutter is a Kiss tribute band. Okay. Oh, nice. Let's see. Yeah, some of I have a friend that's in several, tribute bands. Pat Benatar, Styx, Genesis. He's a great drummer. And he they'll do those casino gigs. They'll be busy, and not right now. Of course, everything's stopped now. So he's actually working at a grocery store. I'm not sure what he's doing, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta pay the bills. You're here to help me study or help you discover symmetrical music. You must wake up now. Okay. Okay. The Holy Magic Mirror order. I think. Yeah, so do to do is do re to re is Dorian. We talked about that though in Europe they have fixed do, so C is always do, so that doesn't work, and it doesn't work that way with fixed do. But okay, we're getting a lot of trolls all of a sudden. What's with the trolls, Bruce? All right, I can block them. And Max too. Or I guess I can just delete them, right? Remove, boom. Oh, am I just removing the one message? All right. I'm putting them in timeouts, I guess. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so the Gene Simmons story, I have to tell you that one. Yeah, it happens. It's been a while since we got trolls. The Gene, so I was, let's see, this was my first, in fact, I'm sure there's YouTube link I can post. This is the first sidelining gig I ever did. And it was for the TV show Ugly Betty. It was 2008. And it was like, yay, finally got at least a union gig. It was like my first union gig. And so I, let's see, where is that? Okay, here. So I can find that scene. So the premise of the story of that episode was that one of the female leads, and I forget her name, but I got to hang out with her all day, which was fun because she was cute and she danced with me and she kept hipping me. And it's like, oh my goodness. And I was playing guitar in the band, and we were the IRS band. We were a band made up of the accountants of the office that they all work at. Let's see. If I just put Ugly Betty, Gene Simmons, and I had long hair at the time. I had yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is probably the whole scene. Well, there's another long one. Yeah, the song is the song we're doing is called Gene Simmons is My Daddy. And so, let's see. Here you go. And they're gonna all of a sudden, why are we getting all these views of this? So this is the scene. Check that out. Open that up and then check it out later. Basically, I was pretending to play guitar in this band, and they give you gear and stuff like that to use, and so the drummer, we're all just pretending to play. They give us the tune the night before so we can learn it, and that's kind of typical sidelining gig. Okay. Goodness gracious, this guy has a lot of he has a lot of YouTube channels. Oh my goodness. If I find out it's a friend, I'm going to kill him. And I had long hair at the time, so they pulled it back and they pulled it back into a ponytail and slicked it because they want. I said, "I'll cut it if you want to cut it." And they're like, "No, you're fine." They thought I wanted to have long hair, and I just was like, I just hadn't gotten it cut. So afterwards, I went. It was right before the writers' strike, so everybody was bummed that they were not going to have any work for a while, and they basically. They basically had nothing to do for the next, they don't even know how long because the writer's strike could go on for months. And so we were talking afterwards, and I got a haircut. I went ahead and had them cut my hair short, and it was great because I got this amazing free Hollywood haircut after I did my scene. But before we did it, I had to go through makeup and everything, and they wanted everybody to be 30-something, and I was 40-something at the time, and so they were putting a lot of makeup on me because they're like, who cast you? How did you get it? And I'm like, the director chose me, so I don't know. They choose by photos. And so I'm sitting in a room with Gene Simmons, and Gene Simmons and I are both getting our makeup done. And I'm just getting a little bit, I'm getting quite a bit. And actually, guy's getting out a razor to miss some spots I shaved and everything. It's like he's doing a thorough job on the makeup. Or pancake, basically, is what he's doing. And so they're working on Gene Simmons, and then they go, okay, that's it. That's a good Mr. Simmons. And Gene and I were talking a little bit because when I lived in Indianapolis, believe it or not, the son of the people across the street was their road manager back in the 70s. I mean, when I lived there, I knew about this. And so I said, didn't you have a road manager or some manager named Postlethwaite? He goes, Postlethwaite? He's thinking, he goes, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about him in years. It was barely remembered it. And he basically, we were talking, and his makeup was done before mine. And the guy goes, okay, you're done, Mr. Simmons. And Gene goes, that's all the makeup you're going to put on? And he goes, why? Do you usually wear more makeup? And I looked at him, I said, dude, he was in Kiss. Yeah, of course he always wears more. But of course he wasn't playing he wasn't wearing Kiss makeup. He was just playing himself. So you can see in the scene where they're talking, and let's see if I have it here to mute it. Yeah, IRS band. You can see Amanda's there. and then this guy, and so he goes out with his handheld camera and is videotaping her doing this song. And they advertised that she was going to do this, so they're hoping Gene would show up, but they didn't know if he would. And there I am. I'm wearing a vest. I'm wearing that blue vest right there. It actually was gray, which is weird. The lighting was blue. So this is just a set in Hollywood somewhere, on a studio stage, and basically I'm doing whatever the director tells you to do. Don't move too much. First time we were like rocking out, and they said, no, you guys, because you don't want to distract from her. She's the star. But at one point, like there's Gene Simmons. He shows up. Anyway, you can't see it. You'll have to watch it and check it out. But anyway, that's that is pretty impressive. Dang. He has kiss hair, black and long, the nicest guy, but he plays Hedges and Kottke and Cobra and that's some crazy stuff. But he also, is that the guy, Gary, you're talking about that, is that the guy that you were talking about earlier? Is that the guy who's in Strahle, the same guy? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, I guess this is the guy that plays the Strahle. That's cool. All right, so let me just do a little bit more here. I'll play a little bit more in this mode. This is the E minor, C, G, D. Very classic chord progression in the key of G. Hey, Ed. Soloing, I generally avoid lower notes because this just gets in the way of the rhythm. You want to kind of pop out on top of them. Oh, you're welcome, Holly. You get up high and the solo really pops out. Oh, I'm just hearing melodies. I'm trying to say something musical. I'm trying to create something, so I'm like here. Play the root. Now it's the third. Play the fifth of the G, which is now the root of the C, or the D. So the chord progression, James, is just E minor, C to G to D. So that's the chord progression you're hearing. It's E minor to C to G to D, and that's it's basically a minor 6, a 4, 1, and a 5 progression. Okay, and I created a jam track for that, so you guys can here. Where is it? So I already posted it, but I'll post it again because that link is way behind here. But here's a link to that pretty much that jam track. Goes on for almost 11 minutes. So no worries, Excel. So I'm playing with these shapes over here. I'm not really thinking B Phrygian or C Lydian. Don't worry about that. That's just so you know. I'm trying to tie it into the mode thing, but there's not going to be a quiz on that. So take a sip, a celebratory sip. There will not be a quiz on the mode aspect of this. What I'm trying to get you to learn is all the scale tones in each of the positions that we're doing the key of G right now. So, and all these melodies. Oh my gosh, dude! Seriously, get a life. Boy, somebody keeps creating new thank you, Bruce. Somebody keeps creating new accounts. Somebody has unlimited Google accounts. I guess that's totally possible. In the G scale we did, if he really wants the Locrian mode, if you start on the F sharp, you've got the Locrian mode. Still G, but it's just starting on the 7th degree of the scale. So Locrian we're going to get to eventually. We still have to do Mixolydian and minor. And we may do more on this scale on Wednesday because, like I said, I didn't put in the G shape in there, the C shape, the C form G chord. Now, Eddie might have done, like the pentatonic. Like. And he requested. He would do his balalaika lick that he always loved to do. He always loved doing that, like. he would do something like that over it. That would be Eddie, Eddie. And I'm no Eddie aficionado. Like I said, when Eddie came around, it's kind of a jazz snob. So I never really got the two-handed thing down, although stupidly, just last week for a game, I got asked to do some speed metal stuff. And I'm like, okay, no problem. It was just like, he had written some pretty basic stuff, but it was like, what was it? And so those are just major triads. E major, F major, E major, F, G major, A flat, A, which is the E note. So that was kind of fun to do that kind of stuff. Eddie would do, I mean, like, so many people came along and started copying what he was doing, but I mean, we could do a lesson on two hands up it. I mean, one of the things you can practice is 12th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret open on the G string. And that's kind of hard, but going down only or up, they all have different sounds. So you can go up and down. Oh, was I playing? Oh, I was, I'm playing a million melodies. That's the problem with doing that, is that probably what's going to happen is someone's going to, there's going to be a stupid copyright infringement, and some bot's going to go, that's a melody our computer wrote, and we registered it, so you owe us money now. So we'll see. I'm still waiting to hear back on the two. It usually takes 30 days or more to get a ruling on that. And I only did two because on the live stream stuff, I did two, and they're the money's in escrow now, which means I'm still going to get the money. I should win the claim. I've always won the claims. Because I'm actually just teaching, and I just happen to play a melody while I'm teaching. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So usually the YouTube, whoever has to listen to it, is so stupid. Somebody actually probably has to listen to it. I think what happens is that the clock runs out on it, and whoever sued, or whoever's claiming it, they have to make a claim. They have to prove it or something. I don't know. It's just not worth their time. So far I've had several of those, and I've challenged all of them. But if I challenge and lose, I can only do that if it happens 3 times. They take down my channel, which is crazy. So yeah, I got to run too, Peroni. You've been here the whole time, man. You too, Bruce. I will talk to you later, you guys. I will see. The plan is for Wednesday, and then I've got to get back to my session here that I'm supposed to be. I wanted to finish last night, but my computer was not agreeing with me. So I've got to do that now, and then I'll probably take a nap because I'm tired. Obviously, I'm tired. Okay. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. End stream. Boom. And God bless you. 41.